Hey all, I thought I'd introduce you to a concept that often gets overlooked by photographers when they're starting out, or even some seasoned photographers. I suppose with the seasoned photographers, it'd be those that sort of take a more photojournalism approach rather than understanding how colour can help tell a story. Um, if you've ever installed a preset and you just like click through them and you're like, oh, that looks nice, and you've ever wondered, why does it look nice? Why are them colours going together? Then this is the topic. It's called colour theory, and it's basically choosing colour schemes. I'll give you a quick rundown of the basics, but I'd recommend to go and do some Googling and YouTubing of colour theory to completely understand it. But basically, there's a thing called the colour wheel, and this site, Peloton.com, is really good for selecting colours that go together. You can start with complementary colours, which are basically two colours opposing each other on the colour wheel. So, for example, here, red and green are complementary colours, and blue and orange. They're two very common complementary colours that you'll see used together a lot. There are other methods as well, like triadic, which is three colours that form a triangle. I think there's a little bit of scope in here to expand a triangle, but they generally say like three colours that evenly spaced on the colour wheel go together. And you've also got this one here, which is adjacent colours. So three colours adjacent to each other on the colour wheel. So I'll give you a quick example, or a couple of examples of how it's used in movies. I've got a couple of tabs open here. This is a movie called Ad Astra, and as you see here, it's got a very rich colour palette. Well, rich as in the colours are quite strong, but there's only actually a couple of colours going on in a lot of these scenes. And Alien Romulus was another one. Throughout watching this movie, which is a really good movie, by the way, in my opinion, there is lots of like orange and teal and red and green used. It was pretty much a strong feature throughout the movie. So, yeah, go back and watch it if you have seen it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But this whole colour theory thing dates back hundreds of years. It was used in quite a lot of famous paintings as well. But I'm going to show you how I use it in a little Lightroom photo that I took at the weekend in London. Oh, I just want to touch on as well that when photographers often start out, they'll just adjust the contrast and be like, oh, that looks cool, and upload it, share it to friends or whatever. But it's good to stop and think about the story in the photo. Like, what are you trying to tell? Is this a happy moment or a sad moment? Because sometimes you'll get wedding photos and they look all dark and moody, but it's like the happiest day of people's lives. So really, it should be like light and airy in a lot of instances. Sometimes you can have strong colours and make it feel autumny or extra autumny with some brown in the shadows, if it was taken in autumn, for example. But generally, I like to use colour to help tell a story of a picture. So if it's like a sad moment, you want to desaturate the colours and make it feel like dark and gloomy. Or, as I've just said, with regards to colour, if it's like a happy moment, you want it bright and vibrant. But there is combining these two things can be challenging, because sometimes you want to use complementary colours, but you also want to keep the mood of the photo. So on this London underground staircase, I'm just going to use a quick example of how to use, say, blue and orange, and kind of give it a creepy vibe, like it's from a early Blumhouse movie, like a low budget horror. So I'll start by cropping in, focusing more on the staircase with the leading line. Just go around here. And because I want this to be blue and orange, I'll start by going to the colours and pushing all the like yellows to the orange in the color mixer. So if we go here, we can first shift the yellows towards the orange here, and push the reds towards the orange, put the green towards the yellows. Just saturate that a bit. Bring the luminescence down. These two as well. Drop in an S-curve just to boost the contrast to a degree. At the same time, that's looking a bit more sort of orangey red now. But I want to bring the shadows up a tad so that I can put blue in the shadows. If we just lift them shadows, and then go to the blue curve, put some points in for highlights, midtones, and shadows, and then just pull this shadow up a bit so that there's a blue hue. So that's already added the blue and orange tones. Let's just tweak this a bit because it still looks a little bit too red for my liking. Go back to the color mixer. Let's push this a little bit more that way. Luminance. That'll do for now. But yeah, so now we've got the blue and orange. We want to kind of make it look a little bit more moody, like you're peering into a underground and you're being, say, chased by a serial killer or something in a Blumhouse movie. So we want to, I guess the obvious would be to start with vignette. Let's go to, where's the vignette gone? I do tend to do it manually a lot of the time, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I'll do here. So that's just drawing you to the light area. And I guess we could actually dial back the contrast a little bit because, like I said before, like if too much colour can almost bring like joy to a photo when we want it dystopian. Maybe we could push this blue just a little bit towards the sort of teal side as well, so it's not so vibrant. We want to kind of make this underground look very lonely. So let's remove these people here. Can actually use generative AI now in Lightroom. I didn't do a very good job that time. But that's it, I'll do just for the sake of this tutorial. I'll perfect it later. So right, what else can we do? Let's kind of add a glow, but make it a little bit harder to see down there as well. So maybe we'll add a radial gradient. Boost the exposure a little. Then bring down the texture and clarity just to soften the whole look. Maybe make it a little bit warmer so it's like a glow from hell going on down there. It's spooky. So yeah, that's one example. You do get some purists that don't like editing the colours of photos and think everything should be like as seen in reality, but There are so many people with a camera in the pocket these days. You have to, in my opinion, do some work to photos to differentiate yourself or make it stand out. So, I mean, this particular leading line shot of the rails going down to the underground is probably been done 1,000 times. So it's just trying to make it look a little bit different to all the other ones that are already online. There are a couple of other things you could do. Obviously, I could paint this in and crank up the exposure to make the lights look even, but I think this kind of rundown look with one of the lights not working kind of helps. This is a topic that I dip in and out of with my photography, actually, but it's something I'm going to be applying more and more and delving deeper and deeper into. So, yeah, if you'd like to see some of my work, please visit Chris Corp Photography on Instagram, and please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yeah, I'll catch you soon.